Finally recording.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, let's get to it.
Yes, please.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode, the final Friday episode of Kings of the Rings podcast. You heard that right, folks. After this week, we will be moving, just like everything else in wrestling, to a different time slot. We will be moving to Thursdays, so we'll be coming a little bit early, just like I said last week. So,
Heyo.
final Friday podcast, moving to Thursdays. Everything else in wrestling is moving. We'll talk about all of that very, very soon. Of course, I'm your host, King Ricky Rose. Find me at Ambassador Biggs, B-I-G-Z, Ambassador Biggs, across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that fun shit. Find Kings of the Rings podcast at KOTR_podcast on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Find us in the podcast world by subscribing to Wrestle Addict Radio, where all podcasts can be found. iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and a bunch of other Podbean and a bunch of other stuff that we're on. Wrestle Addict Radio can be found at addict_wrestle on Twitter and Wrestle Addict Radio on Instagram and Facebook. There's a lot of shit going on in wrestling, a lot of moving parts, and we're going to talk about all of those moving parts this week. But before we get to that, let me introduce the rest of the hosts that we have. And of course, we have to start with the founder, the proprietor, the Mac Militant, things that he used to call himself when the show was on Fridays, Mr. Will Tarashak. How are you, Will?
I have one question. Does that make next week our season premiere?
Shut the fuck up. I was going to say that.
Oh, that's why I
Yes.
introduced first.
Yes.
What a coincidence. Me and us in WWE have the exact same season premieres. You know what, guys? I think it's the Vince Russo idea.
I was going to say Kevin Dunn.
It's where leaked. You can find me on Tuesdays. Hulu Tuesday got moved to Hulu Wednesday and part of Tuesday. Because last night I watched a glorious movie called Mr. Go. That's all I'm going to say. Google it. It's in Korean and it's fucking incredible. But where would I be? Love my life. My Mrs. Go, Kate Murphy.
Mrs. Go, really?
How you doing? And just so you know, non-binary lesson of the day, I use mix, not Ms.
Wait, what?
Fun fact, instead of using like Miss or Mrs. or Ms. or whatever, it's MX. Like mix.
MX.
Yeah.
So I can call you Mix Murphy?
Yeah, you can call me Mix Murphy.
I feel like Mix Murphy is a really good radio name for you.
I
God,
kind of...
that makes,
It
out of
does
all the
work.
non-binary things, that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it.
It is me. It is me, the Queen Bee, Mix the Kate Murphy. You can find me on Instagram at the Kate Murphy and on Twitter at _ the Kate Murphy. My DVR is working really hard right now because American Horror Story is on, so I am blessed that this is the last Wednesday night that I have to miss watching it live. And for that, I am grateful. But I will be complaining on Tuesdays because that means This Is Us is going to be on while we're recording.
You mean This Is Sad?
Oh my god, do you watch it?
No, because why would I watch something so fucking sad all the
It's-
damn time?
It's so good.
If I wanted to cry, geez, I'd watch the Knicks.
I started watching Pose this week. I watched all of it in 2 days, and that's
It's an award-winning show.
oh my god! I binged season 1, and I'm depressed that season 2 is not on Netflix and won't be for like a year.
It's okay. There's a lot more stuff you can watch on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like Glow.
I finished it already.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. God damn it.
I told you to watch Glow.
I'm aware, but I didn't know it was on like 4 seasons. I was literally like, oh, season 2's out. I'll watch season 2 whenever.
Season 3 dropped in June, and then season 4 is probably going to drop in the summer.
I am so behind.
It might be socially acceptable to watch House of Cards again.
How so?
I used to be obsessed
Kevin,
with House.
Kevin Spacey is like not like something happens to Kevin Spacey. I get the news, but Kevin Spacey is like not in trouble anymore.
How?
Charges would drop to something ridiculous. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a while.
It was not even that. I was very invested in House of Cards since it came out. Like, House of Cards was my first Netflix show that I was obsessed with, and I couldn't get behind the last season. I got to 2 episodes, and I just
didn't
couldn't
watch
watch it.
Not my president.
Yes.
It took too far. I don't know.
If we could be political real quick. Fucking finally. Sorry.
Yeah.
Moving
God
along, though.
bless.
Moving along, we did have a couple of firsts this week as Mix Murphy. I'm going to love calling you Mix Murphy. Mix
I
Murphy.
also gonna love calling her Mix Murphy.
Mix Murphy went to her first ever Shine and Evolve indie show. And from what I could gather, judging by I was sitting right next to her the entire time, she had a blast. Or they had a blast, my apologies. So Mix Murphy, God, Mix Murphy's so good.
It is amazing.
Tell us
Yeah,
about,
Irish and gay, just like me.
tell us about your experience returning to the indies.
Oh my God. So I have not been in a smelly place in years to see wrestling in years. And I felt like I was at home again.
That was Dave, let me tell you.
Yeah. Oh, and Dave showed up as well.
It was wonderful seeing Dave. Dave, I enjoy his reactions to my reactions about wrestling. Because the whole time he's like, it's so pure. Look at Kate.
Yeah, yeah. And we didn't think it could get more pure than Dave, and then you came along.
Yeah, here I am.
Here you are. But what were some highlights from the shows for you?
I met a daddy.
You had
Number
like 7 daddies on the
first,
show.
I had several daddies on the show. First and foremost, I finally met Austin Theory, and I held his title.
That's what they said.
Yeah, it
I
is.
felt his back. It was so smooth. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
I should have. That was a rookie mistake on my part for waiting until after the fact.
You know what's really funny? So I met Austin Theory as well for the second time. And so I posted my photo with Austin Theory on my own personal Instagram at Ambassador Biggs. And I got so many likes on it, and I realized that it was from a lot of girls. And then I realized that the likes aren't for me.
it.
No, not at all.
At all. I even
Zero.
had zero. I even had one girl that used to be a unicorn way back when.
Heyo.
Yeah.
Shout out to the unicorns.
Shout out, my favorites were always the unicorns. Used to be unicorn, like messaged me the picture, and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Oh, never mind. He has a girlfriend." I'm like, "You thirsty hoe." My God, but yeah, shout out to Awesome Theory. I had a chance to speak to him and talk about how I seen him on the Indies for the first time in Jersey, and then continue to follow his meteoric rise to now he's on NXT, and getting that first NXT photo with him was really cool. I also met Babatunde, who had a brief conversation with me on Twitter, hashtag Big Guy Zone for Babatunde. And then who else was it? Cassius Ono, freaking Walters. Walters showed up, which was amazing.
I told Walter that he was tall. That's all I could say. I was like, "Wow, you're tall," and he's like, "Yeah."
You could even make Walter smile.
I tried. I think he wanted to. I think deep down inside he would have smiled, but he's committed, and I respect it.
I respect it, but fucking laugh, dude. Every
I
other
was the
superstar was
smallest
having a good
person
time.
in Laboom that wasn't a child. Like,
Very true. It's very, very true.
I was. I had trouble seeing. That's why, like, I liked that we were standing a lot during Evolve, because I'm like, shit, I can see better.
Well, there was no one behind us, so might as well.
Exactly. Except fucking Gargano and Ciampa
And
and Candace.
Again, nicest 3 people you've ever met.
Holy shit, they were so nice.
I feel like they're adopted child in my picture.
I felt, and Candace is like, "Can I get in the picture with you too?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, Candace wants to be in the picture." I'm like, "Sure." They were really nice.
Oh my god. That's okay. That's where you should have went. Sorry, Candace. Saturdays for the boys and non-binaries.
Goddamn right.
See what she says.
She's gonna be like, "What?"
That's 1,000% what would have happened. What?
I don't get it.
You never know. Maybe she's aware. Maybe she's woke.
Non-library? What?
WWE is getting better with wokeness, I must say.
Well, I mean, they are promoting Sonya Deville on Total Divas as the first openly lesbian wrestler. So that should be interesting.
I feel like I'm gonna buy her Pride shirt next year.
I mean, they did have a whole line of Pride gear stuff, but I think Sonya sold pretty well, and she's getting a lot of I guess LGBT and allies as well are showing up to are showing up to shows just for Sonya as well. You can see them with the rainbow flags and everything, especially at ringside.
It's amazing.
It's good. WWE's doing a good job, and I think at some point you do have to push Sonya to Bill. But back to Evolve and Shine, good series of matches. I know Mix Murphy, you did see your spirit animal, your official spirit animal, Shotzi Blackheart,
Twice.
twice. Yeah, Allison Kay started a war within Shine, which is pretty cool. Ivelisse and Mercedes Martinez being there, Marty Bell of Mae Young fame. Who else showed up? Oh, I do want to say Chris Stops, or whatever her name
Chris
is.
Stat.
Chris Stops?
Chris Stat.
Chris Stat. Because cause every time I hear it, I think of like Porzingis. Like Chris Stops Porzingis, but it's Chris Stat, the first female ever to graduate from Creative Pro, if I heard correctly.
That is correct.
Fantastic.
She's funny. She's fucking funny.
Funny and gorgeous too.
She's gonna do well in NXT one day.
If she goes that route. I mean, I said Darby Allin was going to go to NXT, and then Cody and them snatched him up, which is probably the best move for Darby Allin. Yeah, Chris Stat was great. Moving on to the Evolve show, everything on Evolve was pretty much freaking awesome. Austin Theory retaining. Surprise.
Shock.
Yeah,
Absolute shock.
That was interesting because I think Josh Briggs is at that level, especially in La Boom. Like him winning that belt in La Boom, the players would have lost their mind. It would have made him. It would have made him.
Yeah. What I found interesting as well, this is the first time ever at an Evolve show because Will and I and any other iteration of me, Will and Dave or Wade or whatever have been to a bunch of Evolve shows in the past like 2-3 years. Ever since we realized Evolve existed. Thanks, Batman Podcast. This is the first time that a main event got like a main event hype video.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was a great package.
Yeah, very well made package. The WWE influence is trickling down to Evolve, and they're only going to get better.
Yeah. This made me think, well, we're not going to see Austin Theory on NXT TV anytime soon.
I mean, we didn't see the Street Profits on TV when they were doing their run as the tag team champs.
That is true. But
and then afterwards, they got to make a push.
That is also true. All right. Well, we'll see if I eat my words.
I will say that the week leading into that show, Austin Theory did have his first NXT live event down in Florida. So he's doing the tours.
Okay.
So for him, that's pretty quick. Like getting signed in like September, getting signed in late August or mid-August, and then starting doing touring a month later. It's a pretty big deal.
I mean, the big part of his main event for me was Gargano going, "Just watch, guys. He's going to be the main event of WrestleMania 42."
That was good and accurate.
Yeah, and the fact that Gargano was heckling with us was great.
Oh my god, it was incredible. He's like, "Why are you pulling this, guys? We main event of WrestleMania."
and then all four of us, me, you, Kate, and Dave, mathematically figured it out. You're like, you know what? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, and when I met him after the show, I was like, "Did you hear Johnny?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "He said he's gonna main event WrestleMania 42." He's like, "Oh, I hope so." He's like, "I didn't hear him, but I hope so."
6 years from now, it's about the right time. He'll be 29, 30.
It's popsicle.
Yeah, totally possible.
Popsicle, it's possible.
I'll be 34. Holy crap!
No, you won't.
I'm 28 now.
You look like a younger Zaya Brookside, which is hysterical because you're older than Zaya Brookside.
I know, and I look. The older I get, the younger I look. It's great.
You have good genes.
Thank you.
And they said black didn't crack. But yeah, any other highlights from Evolve and Shine that we do want to talk about?
I fell in love with Big Swole.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
I hardcore fell in love with him.
So it was Aja Pereira, Big Swole, and Ayla Fox of the Skulk. They're going up against the Cutie Pie Club in a street fight for the Shine Tag Team Championship. And so Big Swole and them come out to a really dope Rihanna song, which I should know what the name of it is. And
Work,
Big
work, 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 work.
no, a song that's actually good.
I don't think it's a single.
I don't think it's a single either. So they come onto the song. Big Swole, aka Ariel Monroe, is like dancing and bopping right in front of us as she's strolling by because we had ringside seats, and as soon as she finishes strolling by us, Kate goes to me and is like, "I think I'm in love with her," and I'm like, "Well, that's Cedric Alexander's wife," and she's like, "God damn it."
This is me finding out Rhea Ripley is straight all over again.
Yeah, it was so funny. They actually came out with a box of pizza. I was like, all right, street fight box of pizza in New York makes sense. Until we figured out it was literally a box of pizza, and they were handing out slices to everybody in the crowd except us.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that about?
Freaking CM Punk guy got one.
I want to talk about it.
He's probably a fucking vegan too. He's like, excuse me, I'm vegan. What?
Oh no, he was shoveling that shit down his throat.
Yes, he was.
Oh god.
God, CM Punk guy, if you're out there, show yourself.
What's up, homie?
No, what's up?
Phil.
Cameron, what is
If I
CM
met
Punk's
that
guy's
man,
name?
It's gotta be Phil.
it's
I'm
not
calling him Phil. If I ever meet him, I'm like, what's up, Phil?
I'm gonna go with, because I'm looking at his face right now. I'm gonna go with
Marcus.
no, not Marcus. I'm gonna go with
Leviticus.
no, not an Old Testament name.
Leviticus 3:16.
I feel like his name is John. I feel like he's a very basic name.
I feel like it's a basic name too, but like not that big. I feel like it's I'm gonna go out in left field. I feel like it's gonna be like Muhammad. Just to totally fuck with people.
Isn't he
No
white
way.
though?
Huh?
Isn't he white?
So? It's just a name.
That's racist.
No, it's
That's
not.
racist.
No, it's not. It's the most popular name in the world.
Hey, you can't draw him, all right? You can't name white
Appropriation, potentially.
Potentially appropriation.
Okay, I'll give you that one. It's not racist appropriation. That's fair. Good
Yeah.
call, MX Murphy.
Thank you.
Mix Murphy.
Mix Murphy dropping the fire mixtape.
Speaking of a fire mixtape, we may have taken the greatest photo of all time.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, thank you, Mix Murphy, for having us do an Imperium-inspired photo, which means we have to get Imperium-inspired jumpsuits, because now I'm all into the whole Imperium look.
That was my highlight of Evolve, was us becoming Imperium.
It was great. Somebody, I think Big Heck and Wade Adventures, put Symphony Number 9 to our picture and put it on Instagram.
Wait, really?
Hmm.
Oh, I have to watch that later. I forgot who commented on it, but I think it might have been Mans commenting on Facebook being like, of course Kate's Walter.
Oh yeah, because you were pretty much the one in front.
Yeah.
That actually would work well. You should be Walter.
It should be Walter.
Just you should be the hardest hitting one in the entire group and keeps us all in line.
Yeah.
Just slap Ricky. Get in line!
with like a big trench coat.
Like, I'm gonna just start dressing like Jay and Silent Bob from now on. Little man.
The more you think
Put
about
that
it, the
shit
funnier it
in
is.
my hand.
Oh man, so funny. But yeah, Shine and Evolve are great. November 9th, they are returning to Laboom. I will be there. Mix Murphy, unfortunately, cannot be there. Mix Murphy has prior engagements, unfortunately. So
Happy birthday, Danielle.
yes,
I'll
so
probably be.
Will will probably be there. Dave will also probably be there as well, because you know how Dave is. Especially if he can get off of work. Dave will be at an indie show in the New York metropolitan
I gotta
area.
bring my pants.
It's been 2 years. You're not getting your
It's been
pants.
3 years.
No, it's been 2.
Who's counting?
I am.
Yeah.
That's why I'm in charge. Anyway, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to reveal to you the articles of war because, like it or not, folks, a lot is happening starting next week on your television screens, and theoretically, you could probably watch wrestling 5 days out of the week.
Go fuck yourself.
I am so serious, and I'll tell you how when we get back. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I'm excited, but I'm also afraid.
So afraid I'll have no social life, more so than I already don't
I mean,
have.
I don't follow Impact like at all, and I feel like I'm not gonna start now.
I mean, first off, you have to find Access TV.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't have that.
Problem number one.
Impact broke my heart. It's not going back.
When did Impact break your heart?
When it got bad.
Years ago.
I know. I loved Impact, dude. I was a TNA guy.
Yeah, you were.
I
You like
remember.
a six-sided ring?
I would like sneak it every so often, but like I knew it wasn't the same. Like as a kid, I always knew in my heart of hearts it was like discount WWE, and I hated it.
So remember when TNA went challenge Raw on Mondays?
Uh-huh.
It advanced squash by bringing Bret Hart back.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday was my parents would watch 24. So I had to choose whether to watch Raw or Impact in the other room. So I believe I chose to watch Impact. It's over Raw, and
Really?
Why?
yeah, because I liked it better.
Okay.
Especially in like 2009 back then, or 2010. I think it was probably 2010.
Like Jeff Hardy era?
Yes.
Willow
Rob
era?
Van Dam, Jeff Hardy. The whole 10-10-10 thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to think because I had Raw recording on VHS because my parents didn't have DVR, and they recorded 24 and Raw on VHS because you could do that.
All right.
So that's how I watched everything.
Jeez.
Yeah,
You might have to go back to that model.
No, never. It was
I know my plan for Wednesday is I'm gonna alternate what I watch live.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and I'm overwhelmed, but I'm up for the challenge.
It is a crap ton. Well, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, it's me. I'm emptying my
back in
drink.
a bowl,
Sorry.
guy.
Yeah, I'm in pain. I need a bowl. All right, the begging is over.
We should have, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
We should call you Mixtape Murphy.
Mixtape Murphy. I like it.
The HBO. We just gave you a new character. Mixtape Murphy.
We can't retire HBIC though. I like it too much.
No, you're Mixtape Murphy, the HBIC.
Yeah.
Three letters.
Where's my letter? Mixtape Murphy.
The HBIC.
I like it.
It's good alliteration too.
Mm-hmm. I love alliteration. I'm a nerd for alliteration.
Who isn't?
A lot of people that don't care about English like I do.
Are you one of those English language people?
Yep. Oh yeah. I used to be like the biggest grammar Nazi who ever Nazi'd in the world.
Wow.
Like maybe within the last 2 years did I stop using proper punctuation all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I was one of those.
God, they must have hated you on Tinder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They must have hated you on Tinder really badly.
I had more luck back then though.
Well,
Because I was a train wreck who typed properly, so it kind of balanced itself out.
Okay, makes sense.
Now I have it together and I type like a person.
You were a train wreck that didn't come off as a train wreck.
There you go.
Yeah.
You controlled it.
Yeah.
Controlled chaos. Controlled chaos. Ready?
Yeah, let's get back in.
Yep, do it.
All right. And welcome, ladies and Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I've got
Welcome, ladies, and back.
I'm back. Welcome, ladies. I've got mixtape Murphy on my mind. Anywho, I'm all messed up. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Kings of the Rings podcast, live exclusively here on Wrestle Addict Radio. And to be completely honest with you, this week in wrestling has kind of been like holding serve. If you get my sports reference, nothing really moves, nothing really changed, and sometimes that's a good thing because when you have as big as of a week coming up in the wrestling world as you do next week, sometimes it's good not to do anything substantial the week leading up to it. And a lot of what wrestling did this week was preview everything happening next week.
Yeah, we have
Specifically,
4 season premieres next week.
a lot of season premieres.
Yes.
A lot of, well, 5 if you count Impact. But
I don't.
four seasons. 5 if you count us then. So
I
yes,
was
5.
including us in 4. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, you forgot you're leaving out one. Anyhow, starts off. I guess it starts off for the final time with the season premiere of Raw, which is turning out to be a very loaded show. You have first off, it's theoretically the go home show before Hell in a Cell. So you have that. You have the return of Brock Lesnar to Raw to do what? I don't know. You
Just
have a
to be
loaded
there.
He's
just
going to
to
be
be
on
there.
TV twice in a week. Has that ever happened?
Not in years.
If you don't include pay-per-views.
I don't
Exactly.
count pay-per-views. I mean on
Okay.
episodic television.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you have Miz TV, which will feature Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. Again, why? I don't know. But you're gonna load it up as much as you can, and we're gonna see what happens. The Fiend will probably show up. You're gonna have a Seth promo with Braun. You're gonna have all the usual suspects, but there may be something that they're holding back because this is Raw. This is going to be the last, probably big highlighted Raw for a while, because SmackDown will become the A show after next week. But this sets the tone for the rest of the week. So there's something that's happening that none of us know about, and I don't know what it could be. But what do you guys speculate might happen on Raw that could shock the world?
CM
Bray
Punk's coming
Wyatt.
back.
Yeah, that too.
Okay,
Bray
Mark.
Wyatt's
Okay.
going to become the most biggest babyface ever and choke out Hulk Hogan.
If he doesn't choke out Hulk Hogan, I'm quitting wrestling.
Did you hear when they announced Hulk Hogan? The
Yeah,
whole crowd started booing.
I started booing.
Kate, you're watching by yourself.
I don't like Hulk Hogan.
I like Hulk Hogan.
I don't. My district manager offered to get me Hulk Hogan if I closed the sale, and I'm like, I don't want the sale.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, the Fiend has been taking out everybody, superstars and legends alike. There's no kind of rhyme or reason to what or who he has been taking out. So it would make sense for him to take out Hulk. I mean, somebody already legitimately took out Ric Flair, and that was Batista before WrestleMania. So like, we've already taken out Ric Flair once. We don't need to do it again. But we could because it was really good.
That was really good.
I mean, he's sacrificed enough. Ric Flair sacrificed his 70th birthday for a WrestleMania angle. Okay.
I'm still laughing about that. The day they announced it, I'm like, well, that's gonna end badly.
Yeah, so who knows what's gonna go on with that. So I mean, besides that going on.
Also, I saw, sorry to Sideberg for Raw, they announced that AJ versus Cedric for the US title on Monday.
Huh.
I saw it on Twitter, like a few hours ago.
And they said they were gonna bury Cedric, stupid dirt sheets. Could we see Cedric take the title off of AJ Styles
Yeah,
to
I think
start
he
the
could.
week?
It's a season premiere. Why not start the season with a new mid-card title?
Dude, anytime Raw announces the season premiere, I just remember the only thing that comes to mind is Randy Orton attacking Chris Jericho in the back and going, "Sorry, Chris, it's the season premiere." That's the only thing that comes to mind ever when I hear season premiere. Like it's like
Are you
before Jericho,
serious?
yeah, before Jericho came back with his whole list gimmick with Kevin Owens, that's how they put him off TV. Sorry, Chris.
Forgot about that.
It's the season
Sorry,
premiere.
Chris, the season
Thank you
premiere.
for that gift.
I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck is this? That's why he's attacked him, because it's the season premiere. That's the only reason.
I guess. I mean, whatever reason would you have to RKO somebody?
Season premiere.
Season premiere.
Season premiere.
God.
Oh my god. So, I mean, Raw's going to be Raw. Something wacky is going to happen that we are totally unaware about, but I'm so looking forward to it. But what I'm more looking forward to is Wednesday night.
Wait, before we go to Wednesday, I actually have a real question about Raw, 'cause I don't know if we can get back to it. On Raw, Seth Rollins said, because he's facing Rey Mysterio for the belt, first of all, that Fatal 5
That is, there we go.
Oh yeah, why didn't we talk about that?
It happened.
But Seth Rollins said, next week, if I win, lose, or draw, I'm still facing Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell.
I caught
Now,
that.
has it been announced that Bray Wyatt Seth Rollins for the title?
For the title?
Yeah.
You
I thought
assume
it was.
so, but has it been said on TV? Someone pull up the graphic.
I'll do it right now.
Because if it's not for the title, that is one, silly, but two, it might be genius. Because
You really think they're going to put the title on Rey Mysterio?
29.
Well, no, they're not. They don't think they're going to put the title on Rey Mysterio, regardless. But everyone's saying that the Undertaker is going to come in and attack Bray in Hell in a Cell, which would be interesting.
I'll cry.
I think it would be a little weird to put the title on Bray right now.
It is a title match, according
It
to
is a
Bleacher
title match.
Report.
Okay, so that squashes my theory. But I don't like Bray Wyatt in title matches is not usually a good success. It's not usually a good combo.
Wait, he won Elimination Chamber.
Oh look, there's a Bleacher Report article about Bray Wyatt and the Undertaker at Hell in a Cell.
But there is also, I mean, I don't think it would make sense because the Undertaker already beat Bray.
That's right.
WrestleMania 31. What I think would make more sense is Bray is about to beat Seth. He's about to go in, Seth's about to tap or whatever, the lights go out, and you start hearing the heartbeats again. And the demon returns to attack the Fiend.
I think that's Mania.
You set up demon. I mean,
I have a Bray theory also.
Finn got married. It's time for him to come back. This is the first person that the Fiend attacked. This could even set up Survivor Series, to be honest with you.
He consummated that marriage multiple times over.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a theory. So I saw on Twitter some like videos of like what happened after Raw went off the air, like with Seth and Bray.
Yeah.
And I have a theory that Bray might get disqualified.
It's how really?
So that way Seth doesn't lose his title.
But it's no disqualification in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. You can't get DQ'd in Hell in a Cell.
That's right.
Bray used a chair inside a cell. Sorry. You used the cell. Can't do that.
That's a no-show, guy. That's a no-go, guys. Sorry. What I find also interesting that they did this week is they talked about on the WWE Network, you had the Untold of the debut of Kane at the first ever Hell in a Cell.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I love the Untolds. They're so well done.
It was really good. There's a lot of Kane speaking about his character, which I think is great, because you never get to hear Kane speak as a human being. So that was really cool. But I find that very interesting timing. I get it, Hell in a Cell's coming up, but specifically that Untold, and it being about the debut of a new character in a new match in Hell in a Cell. So at least I feel like there is going to be some shenanigans that are going to happen for Hell in a Cell with Bray and with Seth. Could it be Taker? Maybe. I wouldn't. I feel like the Finn Balor story is a better story to tell and a better story to build to right now.
This could also set up Aleister Black coming back too.
Oh, he finally leaves that freaking room. Somebody fight me!
I miss him.
he misses his push too. Trust me.
He misses television.
Yeah.
He hasn't even had a fucking promo.
Yeah, but I mean, you can miss television, but he also goes home to Zelina Vega every night.
That is true.
Yeah, so we all win.
Okay, he wins no matter what.
Yeah, he's the ultimate winner. And so we will determine for the first time ever on Wednesday the ultimate winner of Wednesday nights as NXT goes up against AEW Dynamite.
Dynamite!
I know. I don't get what TNT has with explosive television shows.
Nitro!
It's explosive television.
I don't know. They're really.
It's probably gonna be explosive diarrhea.
I mean, AEW does have a couple of good matches on their card. You have Pac versus Hangman Page was made official. For the first ever show, it's going to be filming from DC. I believe at the MC or whatever the center is called.
Yep.
And your main event is is a 6-man tag. Kenny Omega, the biggest loser in AEW at 0-3, and the Young Bucks versus Chris Jericho and all of the bubbly. Chris Jericho and 2 mystery partners, which is really funny because that was the main event of NXT this week, where it was Imperium versus Kushida and 2 mystery partners. It's really, really kind of funny. To me that NXT pulled that off a week before AEW did. Be that as it may, this is AEW's debut show, which reminds me of when Nitro debuted and all of a sudden Lex Luger showed up in the crowd. Someone showing up that we're not going to expect. Don't say CM Punk.
I was gonna say CM Punk.
Don't say CM Punk, Nick Murphy. But who could Jericho's 2 mystery opponents be?
I don't know, but they better form a faction called the Bubbly.
John Moxley has a match, or is he just like speaking on Wednesday?
Mox
is confirmed to be there, but I don't remember if it's in a match or in just like addressing the audience, cutting a promo.
It's his retirement promo.
Who could the 2 mystery partners be?
Who haven't they signed? Like, who else is left?
It's probably someone on the roster then. It's probably Penta and the other one.
The Lucha Bros?
Yeah.
Luchasaurus?
But they're faces.
No,
so maybe
not Luchasaurus.
It's going to be Moose and Cheeseburger.
I feel like they would have to
Cheeseburger.
Oh, God.
Moose.
Moose would be a good one.
I feel like they have to introduce at least one surprise.
James Storm.
Passes time.
Beer. Money. Okay, we're taking beer money.
Oh my god, I loved the song so much.
I don't know who it could be. Like, I mean, I would say, like, oh, do Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy already debuted at All Out.
Alright, I'm gonna pull this up. A eats every year.
Dave Meltzer and Wade Keller. We're doing wrong answers only, right?
Will Ospreay.
We could do wrong answer. Although Will Ospreay, it would be a good one.
It would be. He would be great.
Although I don't see any NJPW talent, especially the ones of the caliber of Ospreay, showing up. I could be wrong. I could be confused. Maybe it's like Matt Taven of ROH trying to get relevancy. Wrong answers only. Who are Jericho's surprise partners? The Edgeheads.
The Edgeheads.
The Edgeheads.
The Hurricane and Shane Helms. I know they're the same person.
I know. Spirit Squad.
The Mean Street Posse.
Ooh. Um, Dennis
Um,
Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
Just Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman and Kevin Green.
Kevin Thorne and the Boogeyman.
Hugh Morris and Raven.
Bubba Ray Dudley
Or Bully Ray.
and Spike Dudley.
Nice.
The Colognes.
I mean, at this point, would you be surprised?
Good time, sure.
No.
Carlito and Colin Delaney.
MV
Colin Jost and the other dude from SNL.
Carl Delaney. Keenan and Kel.
If Kel Mitchell debuted on wrestling, David Arquette and Eric Bischoff.
Vince Russo and Bruce Pritchard.
Oh my God, having a threesome. just two of them.
Would be
Triple
enough.
H and Vince McMahon.
The Disco Inferno and Santino Marella.
Santino Marella and Santino Marella's sister.
Santina. All right. So AEW has your debut show. I think it's going to be a pretty well-viewed show. AEW did just announce a partnership with Fight TV, and they are going to be streaming all of AEW shows on Fight TV via their new subscription service, ooh la la, AEW Plus, for $5 a month. You'll get all the AEW shows, including their pay-per-views, exclusively on Fight TV, which is so much cheaper than fucking Bleacher Report Live.
That's amazing.
So
That's
good for them.
That's a good move for them.
It is a good move for them, especially because they don't have that much content to show right now. So $5 a month makes sense.
I mean, Fight TV in general is a streaming service that I don't see being too successful overall because there's so many other streaming services out there, especially with Disney Plus and
Fight TV's been around for a while, though.
I know, but like, here's my point. I have this whole theory about like people say cable's dead. Cable's not dead. Cable's being repackaged.
Sure.
And if a network like that is like a big network like Netflix wants to compete, if I was Netflix, it's a completely different sideberg. I would buy Fight TV and buy like an FXX like streaming service, or buy as many small streaming services as you can and package them together as a cable package for like for one giant price. You get all of those
and make it Netflix TV.
Exactly. Cable's going to be back because that's what Disney's doing with ESPN Plus and Hulu. They're just gonna bundle all the shit they own for one price or individually, and that's a cable model. That's straight cable.
Yeah.
So cable's coming back. It's gonna be very interesting these next 10 years when we see the streaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
So keep
My
your
wallet's
eye on
gonna hurt.
Fight TV. Exactly. Keep your eye on Fight TV and who buys it because it's not gonna survive on its own with all these new streaming services.
Watch it be Vince. He's like, I now own AEW. I could see that happening in 2 years.
I would love it.
And I would want Vince to cut the exact same promo when he bought out WCW.
I bought my competition. And just pre-record it in case he dies before that happens. Just play it.
Oh my god.
Just do two versions, like I bought it or my family bought it. I bought it or we bought it.
Exactly. Be it as it may, speaking of we bought it, NXT was like pretty much balls to walls for next week. If you saw the bonus footage after the first live show where Triple H was pretty much rallying the troops and giving out a war cry and going in the crowd and pretty much being the biggest mark that I've ever seen Triple H be ever in his career, not only did he do that, he loaded next week's card. 3 championship matches, all on next week's NXT card for when they're going to go live for both hours on USA Network. Suits is over. Thank God. Thank God. Suits is over, and NXT is going to have limited commercials. Okay, which is a big deal.
They have the money to do that.
Yep. Limited commercials, so not that many commercial breaks. You're going to have The women's title match, Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler. You're going to have the NXT Tag Team title match with Street Profits in a rematch versus the Undisputed Era of Fish and O'Reilly. And you are going to get the NXT Championship match featuring Adam Cole, baby, versus the new number one contender because they finally finished their street fights, Matt Riddle.
Fucking hype.
Does
Be,
AEW stand a chance? That's a real question.
That's
Like, in the next
with that card,
6
that's
months,
hard.
In the next, predict wrestling in the next 6 months, because 6 months is what? Probably WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
6 months from now, yes.
Where do you see AEW? Where do you see NXT? That's a very tough question to answer for me personally. But the way it's looking right now, I don't think AEW is gonna they're gonna be spending way more money than they're making.
I want AEW to be somewhat of competition and to succeed because I think it works best for everybody. However, WWE is so far and beyond them. Like NXT is streaming live on TV in 4K. Raw's not even doing that. SmackDown's not doing that yet. So their picture is clear, their quality is clear. Triple H is fucking around with everything. The Undisputed Era started off NXT. They have their own little mini stage above the announce table.
Do you think Vince knows what 4K is? Why are we streaming $4,000? Doesn't make any sense. $4,000 of streaming? You're fired.
So I mean, it's gonna be hard if WWE is and if you watch a street fight, they pretty much went at it. AEW is also going to be branded as TV14, by the way. So they're going to be attacking a different audience.
That gives them an advantage for sure.
Than WWE will, but WWE is just going to have more content on TV than AEW has.
That gives them a bigger advantage.
Exactly. It's one of those.
TV14 is an advantage, but in comparison, not that big.
Yeah. And it's one show once a week versus 3 shows every week on live television.
It's gonna be so hard.
And everyone who watches AEW is also going to watch the other 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least 2 out of the 3.
Yes, and NXT UK is going to be moving to Thursday, so NXT doesn't even have to compete with the other NXT. Which is mind-boggling.
It's too much wrestling.
I'm noticing that the closer we get to AEW debuting, the more worried I'm getting. I was a lot more confident a few months ago.
Yeah, AEW has to knock this debut out of the park.
Well, here's AEW's main flaw. They gave Vince McMahon 10 months to prepare.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, oops.
Yeah. And he's still doing the XFL.
Oops.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if Vince starts doing XFL promos during AEW shows.
I would love that so much.
He wouldn't even promote the Raw, SmackDown, or NXT. He'd promote the XFL.
They had AEW ads during Raw the other night.
I'm not surprised. They got to do what they have to do to make people change the channel. But I don't know with the card they have right now, which they haven't really revealed, which I think is a flaw on AEW's part. I don't think with what they have right now, they have enough for people to change the channel from NXT.
They don't.
They have.
They need to, you have to promote what you're doing. The surprise factor isn't going to work right now. It's bad business, in my opinion.
Yeah. Unless it's CM Punk.
CM Punk is the only way.
Unless it's game changing. I mean, CM Punk would have shown up in Chicago. CM Punk's not showing up. I'm sorry.
He's not on Wednesday.
Well, it's not going to be in Chicago. It's going to be DC.
But that's what I'm saying. CM Punk isn't going to show up anywhere besides Chicago.
Yeah. So I mean,
Look in my eyes, what do you see? See a
it's
punk guy eating pizza.
show title: CM Punk guy eating pizza.
No, it's
That's
Mix
too long.
Murphy.
It's too long. It's Mix
It's
Murphy.
Mix Murphy.
Mixtape Murphy.
Yeah.
But yeah, AEW versus NXT is going to be really, really interested. I'm very interested to see what 2 hours of actual live on television NXT is going to do, especially streaming in 4K. I get to actually use my 4K TV for a live 4K show, which is going to be great. And do not be surprised if they do so well streaming in 4K to have at least SmackDown start streaming in 4K as well. Speaking of which, the new A show debuts on Friday live from the Staples Center, which is pretty much the Madison Square Garden of the West Coast.
Yeah, it is. Fucking
So
Staples.
they held 5 SummerSlams in a row there. WrestleMania 21 was there as well. That was when John Cena and Batista both won the world titles on the same show, which was the kind of a changing of the guard. So how fitting again that this is also another changing of the guard.
What was it? What was it before the Staples Center? What was it called?
It wasn't. They had the Forum, but
The
the Forum
Forum. Was it the same building? Was it the same
different
building?
building.
Was Staples Center a brand new building?
Staples Center is a brand new building. The Forum is in, I believe, Englewood area, and the Forum is
Okay.
actually a national landmark. So they never tore down the Forum.
Amen to that, boy. A fucking men to that.
So it is the Staples Center, which again, like I said, is the MSG of the West Coast. Fox primetime Friday nights.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar, Kofi Kingston, forward WWE Championship, the richest prize in the game. Kate just lost it.
I'm sad.
This is Brock's going to be Brock's second time on on TV. You have Hell in a Cell 2 days afterwards, 2 to 3 days afterwards. Oh my God, it's a lot. You have surprises galore that probably come out the ass. I believe Austin is coming to SmackDown. This upcoming week, and it's I can't even wrap my mind around. And it's the 20th anniversary celebration show of SmackDown.
I'm so happy to see Austin on TV more. He just looks like he's having so much fun.
He looks happy.
He also lives in LA, so it would make sense for him to show up. If Austin could show up to Madison Square Garden. No, he lives in LA now.
Oh, he moved?
Yeah. Like, if Austin can show up to MSG for Raw, he should show up to the Staples Center for Raw.
Yeah.
So,
I just think it's funny that Austin lived at 316 Gimmick Street.
Oh, yeah, for Broken Skull Ranch.
Yeah, that's where his ranch is. 316 Gimmick Street.
Gimmick Street. So good.
Fucking
here's my question. Here's my question. It's SmackDown. It's Los Angeles. It's Hollywood. It's the home of stars.
The Rock.
Does The Rock show up?
If the show starts with The Rock,
Game over. Game over.
God damn, I don't know what I'll do.
It would be a missed opportunity if he didn't show up.
Well, The Rock is full of missed opportunities. From what
I understand that, but come on.
He's a busy man. He's the most lucrative actor in Hollywood.
I don't understand that.
Well, when you don't say no to any movie,
I know.
Like, I don't think The Rock's not coming back to WWE because he doesn't want to. I think he literally physically cannot.
That too. He looks like $1 million.
So if you're mad The Rock's not showing up, don't take it personally.
Yeah, no, I mean Batista will take it personally because Batista's probably not going to show up. Because you know how Batista is a little sensitive.
He's a big teddy bear.
Don't rip his nose ring out.
Also, don't.
You'd be sensitive too if someone tried to rip your nose ring out.
He also wasn't featured in any of the SmackDown highlights. It's going to be a celebration. SmackDown's been around for like 20 years. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great introduction to what SmackDown is going to be and everything that's going to happen. Then the next week is going to be the beginning of a draft as well. So who knows what's going to happen on the show next week. And at this point on Friday of next week, AEW may be down for the count because you're gonna have a crazy Raw. I'm expecting a wild Raw. I'm expecting an all-out brawl during NXT and AEW. I'm going to be interested to see how Twitter handles that as well.
They're
And then,
not.
and then I'm just going to expect SmackDown and Vince and company to land the knockout punch on Friday nights. Oh, and by the way, Impact is going on Tuesdays to Access TV. By the way,
Cool.
just
Who has Access TV?
a lot of people do. You just don't know it because you don't watch it. But Impact finally got a television contract that's somewhat worth it, and they're back on Access. So yay, Impact. So if you really want to stretch us out, folks, Raw on Mondays, Impact on Tuesdays, AEW NXT on Wednesdays, NXT UK on Thursdays, SmackDown on Friday.
We not.
We probably won't. We'll probably miss a couple of those.
I'm not watching Impact. It's not fucking happening.
Well, while you wrap your head around how much wrestling you are going to start or not watch at all in the upcoming week, we are going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some last-second news and notes. We'll be right back. Why are we streaming at $4,000?
I like that a lot.
That's something Vince would say. That's something.
I don't know where that came from. It just fucking came to me.
Why are we filming in $4,000?
I swear to God, if wrestling is the reason I buy a fucking 4K TV, I'm just gonna.
A 4K TV should be the reason that you buy a 4K TV. I
have no need for it.
I video game in 4K. Holy hell! It's amazing.
The reason I'm going to buy one. I'm waiting. I have the money to buy it. I just don't want to spend the money to get it.
Playing Madden in 4K is the greatest thing of all time.
I don't like game like that anymore.
NBA in 4K would be fucking bonkers. So also, I have a PC with the graphics cards out the ass. So
yeah, do you have 4K resolution on your PC?
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, so yeah, NBA 2K. Just think of how fluid it would be.
Dude, this PC cost me $1,500. It better have 4K capabilities.
Wait, Will, have you seen Stone Cold's show yet?
No, I heard it's really good though.
It's fucking amazing.
On USA.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the first episode and I watched part of the Becky Lynch episode. It's good.
How far in the Becky Lynch one did you get?
I fell asleep, so not far.
So you only got to when they were like during Axis?
Yeah.
So good. He just does random shit. The one with Sal Vulcano is really good, and also the one with Baker Mayfield is good too. So Stone Cold is in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield. They go into Cleveland Browns Stadium and they start playing WWE 2K on the big screen in the stadium.
That's amazing, dude. Oh, it makes me so happy to hear for some reason. I don't know why.
Because he was like, "Let's do it."
Why not, dude?
He's Stone Cold freaking Steve Austin. Just the different like vehicles that he drives on the show is absolutely absurd. The first episode, he drove a tank around. He was like, "You like my tank?" We were just like, "What?" Yes. All right. So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. And for the final time on Fridays, welcome back, folks, to Kings of the Rings podcast right here on Wrestle Addict Radio. And next week we will be moving to Thursday, so you'll get your KOTR _ podcast a day early next week. So you're welcome, folks. You did mention in our last segment that you were happy to see Austin, genuinely happy being around the ring and just doing things that he kind of loved. Like he seems happier and joyous to be doing something and being in front of the camera. Well, it recently came out that Austin has said that he feels physically well enough and in shape enough to maybe return for one more match.
No.
I don't want it.
I don't want to see it. No.
Wow. All right. Jeez, I didn't even ask the question.
Who do you go up against? Is that that's
Dolph Ziggler.
Fantasy folk. Shut the fuck up, Kate. All right, that's the only answer I'm giving that. Next.
You've never got so mad at me before.
I know, that was very impulsive. I almost apologize.
Dolph Ziggler's the guy that they just kind of throw against legends. Look at fucking Dolph
No, but
Ziggler.
this is. It's got to be somebody Austin wants to face. I can see him if he does return. Could have been AJ. Could be AJ.
That would be a good match. And a great match, rather. But I don't want it.
They had good chemistry at MSG. I will say that.
No, they had I mean, I just don't want Austin to wrestle again.
Afraid he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? Go ahead.
He could get hurt and just if he doesn't get hurt, booking will get fucked up somehow. It's gonna end up being some like Saudi Arabia main event fodder, and he's too good for that.
You know what's crazy about Austin's actual retirement? No one knew he retired.
Yeah.
Like he literally just didn't wrestle again. So like in that case, did Austin really have an official retirement?
Well, correction, Ricky. The fans didn't know. All the wrestlers, Vince knew, Austin knew, everyone else knew.
Yeah, but like us as fans, coming from a fan perspective, we had no clue.
It wasn't in the storyline.
Wasn't in the storyline. It wasn't glorified. Anything like that. Like JBL's last match was not known to the fans either when he jobbed to Mysterio at WrestleMania for the IC title.
It was like 8 seconds. And he's like, I quit.
Yeah.
Just quit.
Sometimes it's better that way.
But I feel like for Austin, like, you feel like you wanted something more grand for Austin to go out on.
We want that for him. Maybe he didn't want it for himself.
Maybe he didn't want it at the time, but maybe he wants it now. Maybe that's why he's itching to go back into the ring. Trish sure as hell didn't deserve it, but, she did the right thing by passing on the torch to Charlotte by losing, finally.
In Canada.
No, you got to do it. You're going to do a job, you're going to do a job.
It was perfect.
God damn. We're going to go up against Vince. God damn. Let's plug up in the ring.
I miss Cody Hoot and his Austin impression.
Yeah, me too.
That was a great time. Shout out to Cody Hoot wherever you're at. So yeah, I mean, could it happen? Maybe. I doubt. I feel like he makes too much money outside of the ring now, with appearances, and now his show is really good. So I can see Austin staying away from the ring, but I can see Austin also teasing that return just for shits and giggles, because that's what Stone Cold does. It reminds me of, what was it? When Paul Heyman was on the Austin podcast on the network, and Paul Heyman started kayfabing and got Austin into gimmick about him facing Brock Lesnar.
Oh no.
That also could be the only other match I can see, because Austin and Brock Lesnar was supposed to be a thing, and Austin was supposed to job to Brock Lesnar for a year that Brock Lesnar won the King of the Ring. Austin was like, well, that's stupid to give us away on Raw, and that's when Austin left and quit.
I know what's gonna happen.
What? Yep.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's gonna be the new 24/7 champion.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect. He stuns Carmella.
Stunner on Carmella.
Stuns Carmella, moonwalks, stuns her again. And Stone Cold becomes the longest reigning 24/7 champion ever, because no one's going to touch him.
Nope.
That would be perfect. The only one that'll take out Austin will be like Shawn Michaels out of nowhere. Like, he'll super kick Austin.
NXT. Next takeover. And then the 24/7 title is going to become the Legends title.
That'd be great. I like that idea of a Legends title. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
But who knows? But let's move on. Maybe Austin return. Maybe Austin won't return. Mickie James also, by the way, might not return. She's been recovering from a torn ACL, and there's talks about her potentially being the second woman to be part of a commentary team. She's not going to join Renee Young, I'm assuming that, but she may join a commentary team. She has been trying out on commentary on Main Event, so I've heard. Because no one watches Main Event.
I tried to watch Main Event at work recently, actually.
Yeah.
Why?
How did that go?
Because I had Hulu on and it put main event on.
It knows what you like. They're like, yo, this is wrestling.
Yeah.
Put
But
this.
then I found there was another show. I don't remember what it was. I think it was the WWE Superstars. I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about this. It was all shit from 2015.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
All right,
Anyway.
fun fact. Remember they rebooted Superstars? Does anyone know the first match that was on WWE Superstars back when they rebooted in like 2012?
I do
No.
not.
I've asked this question before in the podcast. It was The Undertaker versus Matt Hardy.
Really?
What?
That might have been the first main event or the first match, one or the other.
Huh.
And I was like, well, never watching this again.
I'm wrapping my head around it.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
And that was part of the time I wasn't watching wrestling.
Yeah, me too.
That was the dark time.
Yeah, those are my McKeeb's days. But moving on, match of the week. Who do we got? Start with Mix Murphy.
My match of the week is Walter versus Cassius Ohno at Evolve 136.
I was very underwhelmed by that match, but I can see why.
It was mostly for the experience itself, more
Oh,
than
that entrance.
It's honestly, it's mostly for the entrance. The match was a little underwhelming. Like it was really good, but like it was just the experience of it. And Walter slapping Cassius Ohno, fucking slapped him. Like he had 2 shirts on, slapped him so hard that my tits hurt. It was painful. Like you could hear the slap, like the chops reverberating off the walls of the boom. It was insane.
Yeah, Walter's a very rough individual.
He's very tall, in case anyone was wondering.
You can look on Kate's Instagram and figure out how tall he is. Will, what is your match of the week?
I'm gonna give it to that AR Fox, Jack Joe Gacy, Eddie Kingston, that
The Unwanted
match. Yeah, the Unwanted. I missed a quarter of it because I was getting my second quesadilla. Thank God I got a second quesadilla because I had to go to the bath after the show, and that made me meet Austin Theory because the line was so short. But that match was terrific, and
Babatunde came in as a surprise, right?
Yeah, that too. Babatunde came in, and Eddie Kingston kind of promo afterwards and like during the match or beforehand, like, damn, dude, in another world, Eddie Kingston would have been a megastar.
Absolutely.
For sure.
He had tryouts at the PC.
He doesn't have a good look. That's the thing.
I know, but I mean, neither does Paul Heyman, but that motherfucker makes it work.
Yeah, but he's not a wrestler.
Touche. Yeah, Eddie Kingston is a promo genius. He's got that attitude. He's got that sass. He's got everything you want in just a vicious promo. He could have been, huh?
He's such a dick.
Yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great.
It's perfect.
He could have been. You could have paired him with the Usos. You could have even paired him with the heel version of the Colognes. You know.
He could have been the mouthpiece for AOP. Could you imagine?
AOP's doing enough by themselves.
Well, now they're doing fine by themselves.
Freaking Albanian mobsters. They left a promo, they beat up some random people, and they returned to the promo.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. I feel like that's what Aleister Black should do. He should walk out of the room, just like kick somebody in the face, and then just return.
He should they should.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God! I thought of something.
What?
What if Aleister Black is in the Firefly Funhouse?
What?
What if he's in another room in the Firefly Funhouse?
Oh.
I mean, okay. A house has multiple rooms.
All they do is just go next door.
Open the door, and then it's the living room.
Come and knock on my door.
Come and knock on my door.
That's how we've been waiting for you. Aleister Black is in the Funhouse.
I mean, just thinking about that, like Aleister Black just walks in and then he just walks into the Funhouse. That's a weird visual for me, which means it's perfect.
But it would
Can he wear a sweater?
No, he's got to wear that all black.
No, he has to wear his like. No, he's gonna come in like his in gear attire, and he'll just like open the door, and that's gonna be fucking Bray Wyatt in his brightly lit living room with his paintings and
the puppets.
And the puppets. And then some weird shit's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna do that. they're not gonna fucking do that at
That's
all.
too
But
good of a storyline.
It makes too much sense.
Yes, it does.
no.
My match of the night, or match of the week, actually. Uh, it's gonna go to NXT again. That street fight, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's what you need to make Matt Riddle look strong going into his match against Adam Cole, Bebe, for the first ever
Adam Cole.
2 hour live NXT next week. I'm very excited for it. I'm sure the good old grandfather is probably like on the edge of his seat waiting for this main event because you know how Matt Riddle and Rant are, and also Jeff Palmaccio of Not Your Mama Soap Opera will probably be high as a kite for that main event as well.
I know I'll be.
I don't know if you guys heard, but RVD liked his Instagram post again.
I know.
They're almost best friends. They're almost best friends. But moving on, King of the Night, reverse order. So it's going to start with me. Uh, my King of the Night goes to the Evolve experience. I think this experience above a bunch of the other ones was phenomenal. They've upped their production. They've upped the number of meet and greets. The meet and greets are flawless. And they work seamlessly well. You get to meet all these people. It's just a great time. All the wrestlers there are fantastic. Inside and outside of the ring when you get to talk to them and meet them. It's everything you want in an indie wrestling experience. So the Evolve experience gets my King of the Night. William?
I give it to Rey Mysterio. You know, I thought that Fatal 5 was good. I thought Bobby Roode looked really good as well, or Robert Roode, excuse me. And it's good. I think it's good to see Rey do something. Like they've been burying him since he came back. But you know, this is a push. Something. You know, sometimes one week can change a year of history. Ask Jinder. So I've always been a huge Rey fan. I've always thought WWE's kind of given him the short end of the stick, no pun intended. So he's not gonna win next week, obviously, but I'm excited to see what he does, a good match, and see where it goes.
I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Something. Yeah, exactly.
I want to see how they produce this match between him and Rey.
Exactly. So. All right, Mix Murphy.
Murphy.
I also would like to make Evolve my King of the Night, Queen of the Night, Royalty of the Night, because it's a promotion. I had a really good fucking time at Evolve, and it was everything I needed, like, just in general, like, spiritually, emotionally, physically. And indie wrestling in general is just a different experience that you don't get at WWE. As much as I love that we go to, like, every WWE event in New York.
And we're going to Raw again.
And we're going to Raw again. It's just a different experience. It's just totally different, and we had a blast.
Good seeing Dave again, by the way.
What?
Good seeing Dave again.
It was great seeing Dave.
Yeah, Dave looks great.
Dave looks great.
He looks very, very good.
And we were all together, and we had fun. And the quesadillas were amazing.
Those quesadillas are so good.
Those were so good. Evolve was fucking awesome, and I can't wait for the next one.
I really want to know who their meet and greets are going to be for the next one too, because at that point, NXT is going to have an entire month under its belt.
Mm-hmm. At this point, it's going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
I would flip out.
My God, the line would be out the ass. Oh man!
Could you imagine Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks in Laboom?
My God, that's a Dave wet dream. It is. You think I'm lying?
Dave would just bow to everyone.
I've seen it. I saw him bow to Kevin Owens in Universal. So
he'd like give him his shirt and be like, Kenny, giving you the shirt off my back. Taking a tribute
of my loyalty to you. Oh, fucking Dave. Oh my God. So yeah, Anywho, folks, we've got to get this show on the road. We got some packing, we got some cleaning to do because we are debuting a brand new season of KOTR underscore podcast. It's going to be our season premiere next week, along with the season premiere of Raw, the actual series premiere of AEW, the somewhat of a season premiere of NXT, and a brand new SmackDown with 20th anniversary episodic spectacular featuring Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and who the fuck else knows that's going to be there. So without further ado, for the final time on this Friday, William, cue that music.
Whose music am I playing?
I don't fucking know.
I gotta think of one. Okay.
You should do you like one of those. Actually, you're gonna obviously edit this part out, but do you like one of the old SmackDown themes? Do "Beautiful People" by Marilyn Manson.
What a jam.
That was a great
Okay.
SmackDown era theme.
All right. Do Nickelback.
Don't do fucking Nickelback. Did we all just sing our favorite Nickelback song?
I said Creed, please.
Oh God.
How the hell we wind up like this?
Well,
Were we able to see the sun that we missed?
the news today.
Nothing wrong. Just as
With
long as
arms
you
wide
know that
open.
someday I will. You can't edit this out now.
Yes,
Friday
we
in
can.
the sunlight. Oh, it's staying in.
It's
Now everything has changed. I'm gonna end with Creed.
Oh, good. Don't end with Creed, please.
with arms wide open under the sunlight.
At least give me Slack's MCR. Or something. Anywho, folks, this has been Kings of the Rings podcast, episode number 166, Mix Murphy. I am your host, King Ricky Rose. Find me Ambassador Biggs on all social media outlets. Find Kings of the Rings podcast on social media at KOTR underscore podcast. Subscribe to Kings of the Rings podcast by subscribing to Wrestle Addict Radio, where you can listen to us not just on Fridays, but now moving to Thursdays on our slot. Along with Wrestle Addict Radio, we have Nacho Mama Soap Opera on Wednesdays, Fourth Wall WrestleCast on Saturdays, Gift of Podcast with the Monday Night Delight on Monday nights, obviously, and of course the Game Changer Wrestling Podcast featuring Mr. Fretch and Nate, the effing great Game Changer, on Sundays. Wrestle Addict Radio, subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever podcasts can be found. It's been a great run on Fridays, but now life has come and we have to change to Thursdays. We'll be bringing you all of the content that we can hope to provide with all the wrestling that is going to be out there each and every week. Mix Murphy, what do you got to say?
It is me, Mixtape Murphy, the HBIC of Wrestle Addict Radio.
There we go.
I like that outro. You can find me on Instagram at the Kate Murphy, and you can find me on Twitter at _ the Kate Murphy. I think, I don't got a whole lot going on still. I'm still laying low. I started watching RuPaul's Drag Race, so that's what I'm about to do.
That won an Emmy.
I've never seen it in my life, and I watched the very first episode today.
Huh.
And I loved it.
All right, so as you de-stress with a little bit of Drag Race, well, what do you got? Final Friday.
Serious, guys, go on the internet and type in Mr. Go. You will not be disappointed by this movie. I'm telling you, it is a full-size circus CGI gorilla just playing baseball. Every single thing he hits is
Hold
a
on.
home run.
I'm looking it up right now.
And all
What's
it
it called?
is just Mr. Go. And all it is a South Koreans reacting in the greatest way possible. The movie itself is not in English.
Oh
It's
my
obviously South
God.
Korea.
Oh my God,
But-
I found the trailer.
You will not be disappointed. It is the funniest thing ever. And of course, there's a montage with a Dire Straits song playing, so you will not be disappointed.
I'm watching
Tell
the
me
trailer
what
right
you
on
think.
here.
At Will Tarashuk, Teason Thomas, ARASHUK. Mr. Go over Raw every night of the week, because we're the kings of the ring.
Whoa.
And Mr. Go is going to hit another home run.
Do I have to do a shoot every time? Anywho, folks, Thursday we will be back talking about everything going on in the world of wrestling because after this week, wrestling has completely changed and hopefully for the better. Welcome to the golden era of wrestling and hopefully the golden era of wrestling podcasts. And this is, of course, your front runners, the Kings of the Rings podcast. We will see you on Thursday. Goodbye and good night. And fuck you, Slack.
Click, clack, fuck, Slack.
Yakety yak and fuck Slack.
Yickety yak.
Yickety yak, fuck, Slack. I'm watching the Mr. Go trailer on mute, and I'm very confused.
I'm telling you, man, it's the greatest thing ever.
I'm definitely gonna watch this high as shit. I hope you know that.
We wouldn't expect anything less, Kate, to be honest with you.
I think this is the least high I've ever been on the show.
Really?
Yeah. Because I didn't vape on, I just hit the bowl.
Well, you're also cutting back, aren't you?
Yeah, like a lot. Like smoking like flowers, like fine. So like I'll smoke like bowls and stuff like when I get out of work. The pen I'll only have like if I go out, or like I have it like next to me now, so like I'll take a hit now. They're like, we're done with the show. But like I don't want my brain to get mushy. And I feel my brain getting mushy, and I'm too smart for that.
Fair. Oh, so did anybody hear this?
Oh Lord.
Kevin, this is totally geek stuff right now.
Okay.
According to comicbookreader.com, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige developing a Star Wars film.
What? Oh, based on the Marvel comics?
No, it's for Lucasfilm.
What do you mean? Hold on. I'm turning my fan on. It's hot in here.
Per the Hollywood Reporter, the ever-busy Feige is set to develop a new Star Wars film for Lucasfilm. Feige will produce the untitled project alongside Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy.
I'm sorry. I'm back now. So Marvel is working with Lucasfilm and making a Star Wars film?
I mean, Disney bought both of them, so it doesn't.
Well, no, I know that. Of course, I know that, but.
Let me see. It is not secret that Feige is a huge Star Wars fan.
Are we still recording on the audio on this?
I stopped recording.
I stopped recording.
No, Vicky, I'm on the Skype call.
I can stop it now. Do you need me to stop it?
No, I'm just wondering.
No, yeah, we're still recording right now.
Okay, cool.
While little is known regarding his Star Wars project, the deal is set to have come together in recent months, with Feige having sat down with Kennedy and the studio co-chairman.
Kennedy!
That should be the surprise for AEW, Mr. Kennedy.
Honestly,
I used to love Mr. Kennedy.
Feige is said to have approached a major actor concerning a role in a Star Wars film he is hopeful to make. So Feige's going to be working with the president of Lucasfilm on this project. So there's a new Star Wars film that Kevin Feige is going to do.
10, 11, 12.
Yeah, right. Called the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I didn't tell you guys. I almost murdered a man at work today.
Ooh, do tell.
All right, so no, so I have the the Imperial logo on my arm. I have the Empire on my arm, to the point where I forget about it. So this douchebag came into my job. This giant Italian dude, he had the worst tattoos I've ever seen, by the way. It was like tribal flames, but it looked like they were done in someone's kitchen.
Tribal flames, okay.
And they weren't all totally, it was just a train wreck. So this guy, he, I guess, had come in last night trying to order the iPhone Pro Max, which is back ordered.
Probably everywhere in America.
Yes. I think the only one that was not back ordered is the gold one. So
really, the gold one wasn't back ordered?
Correct.
I love gold. Austin Powers reference, anybody? Come on, folks.
I wasn't.
Is that the third one?
Yeah, gold member.
Yeah, it's the worst one.
I love gold.
I used to love that movie in 6th grade.
Oh, hey, the Mets are officially eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah,
why aren't you working?
The Twins clinched too.
I'm semi-scared of the Twins.
They're a good team.
They are.
We won't beat New York, though.
What the fuck is happening? Mediafire hates me. KOTRN.
Kate, do not give it a password on.
No, I got it. I typed it in right every time, and it's like invalid, and I'm like, no, it's not invalid. Oh, so this fucking douchebag. He starts talking about my tattoo, and then he goes, "Oh, I like your tattoo." I'm like, "Thanks." Then I'm like, "Wait, which one?" Because so usually when people talk about my tattoos, they talk about the colorful ones.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Oh, your Empire." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And then he starts talking to me about Star Wars and like his boy, how he's got like mad Star Wars tattoos. I'm like, "Okay, cool, whatever." And then we started like bullshitting about the new movies. Meanwhile, he's screaming at my coworker because he tried to order this fucking phone last night, and for whatever reason, they canceled his order, and they don't know why.
That sucks.
No one knows why. He was on the phone with support. Nobody could figure it out. So they told him to come back to the store. So he's screaming at my one coworker while he's trying to talk Star Wars to me. But he was such a dick. So I'm like, "Are you caught up?" And he goes, "Of course." And I'm like, "Oh, great." So he tried to tell me that the rise of Skywalker, and that it's in the name, by the way, and it's right in front of me, and I wouldn't understand. But the rise of Skywalker means Ben Solo, a Skywalker, is gonna rise to the light side. And I was just like, stop. He tried to tell me Force ghosts get involved, and I go, no, they're not.
Force ghosts could get involved.
What?
Force ghosts, I can see getting involved.
He's like saying that like Force ghosts are gonna get involved and they take over the whole thing, and I'm like, no.
Oh no, not like that. Yeah.
No, he thinks it's a possession kind of thing.
All right, guys, new Empire, it's all ghosts. If we're gonna defeat them, we have to kill ourselves and then fight the ghosts.
He thinks, and
that's something an M. Night Shyamalan would do, though.
It's so stupid. We can't kill the ghost guys.
So, and he was being such a douchebag, but then he's trying to tell me I was wrong and that I wouldn't understand. I'm like, that's not true.
Yo, can we do? I don't know if we would even be able to do this. Can we do like a team trip to see Star Wars?
Yes.
Where? You guys have to come to the city.
Oh no! Well, we could have a friend who works at an AMC. He's like the head manager of one of the biggest AMCs in like the city. Like he's met Magic Johnson.
Wow.
Is one in Times Square? That one's huge.
I'm not sure. I have to ask him.
But we definitely opening night. I'm going like with AJ and like his band, and then I have to go once
with AJ. Sorry.
Yeah. He had an emergency appendix surgery on Sunday.
Ooh.
No, that's not good.
So remember, I was like saying he was like texting me at Evolve, saying he's like throwing up and shit.
No, I don't actually.
He was like texting me like a lot at Evolve, being like, "I'm throwing up, like I don't feel good."
Oh, so he got an appendectomy. Shit.
So I'm like, just drink water, like you're gonna be fine. Sunday morning, he texts me. He goes, "So I'm in Huntington Hospital. They think I have appendicitis." And then a few hours later, he goes, "Yep, it's appendicitis. I'm having my appendix out in an hour." I'm like, "Oh."
Well, yeah, you kind of need that done really quickly.
What?
You need that done really quickly.
Yeah.
It explodes.
Yeah.
What happens? It explodes.
It explodes.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass, though. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, like it's just badass to your body. But, like, dude, I might explode.
Well,
just so
usually
you know.
Once you start getting in pain from it, it's when it's going to explode.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my dad had appendicitis. I kind of want to keep it. Like, I want to get it in a jar and just have it somewhere. Just put
Can
it
you
somewhere.
do that?
You probably could.
I don't think so.
It's your appendix.
But you don't own it.
Yes, you do.
You don't.
What do you mean you don't own it?
You do not own your organs.
What the fuck does that mean?
I looked it up. I swear to God, you do not like. Okay, so here's a story, a crazy story for you guys. So this one guy gave his kidney to save his wife's life, and then like 3 years later, he found out his wife was cheating on him. So he sued her to get his kidney back.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm suing you. I want my kidney back. And the judge threw out the case, one, because it's ridiculous, but two, because you legally do not own your organs.
That's absurd.
That's so weird.
That's absurd. I mean, I'm an organ donor, but like
I'm also an organ donor.
I'm an
So I
organ
think it's
donor.
right
Do you want to know why I'm an organ donor? And this is the worst thing.
Why?
So the first year I went to Pride, my friend Kevin and I were wasted, and we wanted a free bracelet. And in order to get a free bracelet, you had to sign.
And being an organ donor, you dick. You dick.
But think of it this way too. You can only donate your organs. You cannot sell your organs. Like if you want to sell one of your kidneys to someone, you can't do that. You're not allowed. You have to donate it. You have to go put on a donation list.
But the joke was on us because we didn't know that part of Pride is just, it's just free shit. You get free shit galore. So I got 1 million free bracelets that day and didn't need to sign my organs up for them.
Hope the bracelet said, I donated organs for this bracelet.
I donated organs, all I got was a shitty bracelet.
I don't even have the bracelet anymore.
Good job, Kate.
Yeah.
All I got was a shitty bracelet.
I don't even have them anymore. Alright, I'm gonna go die. I'm in pain.
I'm gonna try to play a little bit of NHL.
I'm gonna probably actually put American Horror Story on. Okay, I forgot that was on. But I taped it. Ricky, start this season is really good.
I will try. I have to figure out my schedule of shit anyways. Well, it's gonna be easier now because now like wrestling is like I can pretty much take a day off before any major thing happens in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gonna be using Tuesdays as my day off from wrestling.
Which is gonna be good for me returning to the gym. I can actually dedicate like a night to the gym.
That's exciting. We're gonna have a life again. But
no,
we're not. It's getting worse from here. As it stands, I'm not watching SmackDown on Fox Live on Friday.
I'll be watching at least the first hour.
I will see part of it live. I'll see the first maybe half hour live because I have to be in Patchogue by 9, which is like 20 minutes.
I find time to do everything in my life, but I do.
It's called being an adult.
It's so much.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's stop recording. Let's see. I will start putting up. Oh, I gotta get my car serviced on